Welcome to another episode of Chad Sports Talk. I'm going to take a dive into Warren Sports. In case you don't know, my name's Chad, and this is my Week 11 college football pick and preview video. That's right, we're up to Week 11, and we're getting closer and closer to the finish line to find out who's going to be the top four, quote-unquote, top four teams to be in the college football playoffs, who's going to get snubbed, who's going to get some great New Year's Six Bowls. And last week was just somewhat of a bad week. I ended up going 7-5 with my picks, so I was bowl eligible. I mean, that's all you could basically say with that one. And it's kind of hard to there was a lot of upsets last week. And I think there's going to be some ones this weekend too, because this is going to be close. This is like a separation Saturday showdown. This is really see who's going to start separating, becoming, the leaders of their conference divisions to get to the conference championship game. And there are a lot of key matchups to really keep your eye on. So here are my ones I'm going to start looking at, and I'm going to start off in the ACC country where Virginia will play host to number 8 Notre Dame. That's right. I'm going to use my picks or my poll numbers, so these are going to be a little skewed compared to the college football playoff poll and AP poll and coaches poll. So just keep that in mind. These are my poll picks. I always do a poll review. Or I do a review of my poll that debuted 2 weeks ago. So make sure you check out my previous video to see, towards the end that we'll find those rankings. And let's just go back to the preview between number 8 Notre Dame and Virginia. Virginia's just one of those loaded offensive teams that was going to give Notre Dame fits. Very similar to North Carolina. I think they're going to go blow for blow. They're going to make it very interesting. Notre Dame's going to find ways to create offenses, capabilities once again, like they seem to always do. They don't want to do a quarterback by committee, but it seems to be their best functionality because you have different style quarterbacks, which defense now have to switch up and then creates havoc. So I think Notre Dame will do the exact same thing, find a way to win and try to, challenge those top 4 teams possibly. And another key game in ACC, a battle for the Atlantic. That's right. Number 21, NC State will visit number 10, Wake Forest. This was to see who will have controlling factor of the Atlantic Division in a spot in Charlotte. And this is just going to be one of those things. Hartman is just a very excellent quarterback. He's having a great year, putting up some fantastic numbers, but the Wolfpack D is going to be hunting. And they love to hunt. And I have a feeling they're going to be devouring on Hartman quite a few times, and NC State is going to knock off Wake Forest. The Big Ten. Oh boy, this is going to be a loaded weekend for the Big Ten Conference. I'll go ahead and start off with Maryland visiting number 5, Michigan State. Michigan State's got bounced back from that disappointing loss they got handed to by Purdue. And Maryland's just one of these teams. It's a decent team, but it's going to have its hands full. Tagovailoa, I'm sure I butchered that name, so my apologies. Is the star for the Maryland quarterback, and then for Michigan State, it's the running back Walker. Which superstar is going to shine? Who's going to lead their team? And I think this one's going to be all Michigan State as they get back on track and winning. Then another big one would be number 3, Michigan visiting number 23, Penn State. Penn State stopped their slide. Get that key victory last week. Michigan rebounded, but this is one of these key games in the Big Ten East. I mean, this is a loaded Big Ten East. And it's just going to be Clifford is going to challenge that Michigan D. There is no question about it. But I see that Penn State can knock off Michigan in this one. I mean, I think I'll go a little bit on a limb and go with Penn State. It's this Big Ten East is just loaded with quality schools, and just trying to figure out who's going to be the best of the best is really hard to determine. And speaking of other Big Ten East schools, number 4 Ohio State will play host at number 19 Purdue. That's right. Purdue's taking on another highly ranked Big Ten opponent. They seem to love this. They've done it to Iowa. They've done it to Michigan State. They're 2-0. Can they go 3-0? There's a lot of experts that kind of say Purdue's going to knock them off again, but I think Purdue's magical run against ranked Big Ten opponents are going to end in Columbus this weekend. I think Ohio State's going to squeak past Purdue. Remember, I think that's what's going to happen. And then another a big-time matchup in the Big Ten West is number 25 Minnesota is going to visit number 13 Iowa. It's a 4-school race right now in that Big Ten West of Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Purdue. I mean, it's just a stacked. So this was going to definitely see who's going to be, a little bit better charge because Wisconsin's got Northwestern. Should be no issue for Wisconsin on that one. But this one's going to be huge. But Minnesota has not beaten a ranked team this year, so I don't see them bucking that trend. I think Iowa's defense is finally going to reemerge itself and contain the Golden Gophers, and Iowa should knock off Minnesota. Now the SEC, there's a couple matchups there. One definitely going to be interesting just because of the star power associated. You got Mississippi State taking on Auburn. Will Rogers and Bo Nix. I mean, these are two quality quarterbacks that should, get a lot of attention in NFL draft. And A&M may have shown a way to be able to contain Nix. But does the Bulldogs able to duplicate that blueprint? Or can, the Tigers stifle Rogers? I mean, this will be interesting since, either team has different luck with the Aggies. Mississippi State beat A&M. Auburn didn't. This one, I think Nix is going to get back on form and be able to out-duel Rogers. And then speaking of the Aggies, the number 11 Texas A&M is going to visit number 17 Ole Miss. Another SEC West showdown. Just kind of puts some more pressure on Alabama, who's going to have an easy road with New Mexico State. And Curl is just a very phenomenal quarterback. He's doing quite well. If Lane Kiffin can stop gambling, that's what cost him the game last week. He gambled way too often and just, busted out. And if he could limit his gambling, I believe Ole Miss would be able to take out A&M. Now for the Big 12, a huge showdown. You're going to have number 2 Oklahoma visit number 16 Baylor. Now Baylor's trying to rebound from getting upset by TCU last week, and A&M's got Caleb Williams now in charge. The offense is humming. They had to struggle early against Kansas. But, hey, sometimes the schools will bring their A game. So you got to be prepared for that. And they able to get that victory. And, but Baylor's just it's loaded. This is a loaded team. And Oklahoma's been struggling a few games here and there. I think they'll finally catch up and bite them. And bite them where, the sun don't shine. And Baylor's going to win a close one. That's right. I'm going to say Baylor knocks off Oklahoma. And their matchup, speaking of TCU, will be visiting number 9, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State needs to get this victory to kind of keep pace with the Sooners. And, this is going to be one of these things that I think TCU would not be able to duplicate what they did against Baylor. I think Oklahoma State is talented enough to be able to handle that one. And just be kind of slow and methodical like they did against West Virginia. And that's what they have to do. Just slow down the pace, control it, and Oklahoma State's going to knock off TCU. And then the mountain out west, let's start off with the Mountain West, where Nevada's going to visit 22nd ranked San Diego State. And this is a huge game for that West Division, for the Mountain West. And pretty much the winner's going to have the edge. Right now, the Aztecs have been struggling these past 3 weeks. 3-4 weeks. They just haven't been living up to the hype. Now they're taking on the meat of their schedule. Nevada's not going to be an easy out for them. They're very, very talented as well. But I have a feeling that the Aztecs will just edge out Nevada in this one. And then number 6, Oregon's going to play host to Washington State. Washington State is going to be a feisty opponent for Oregon. This is Pac-12 football. Pretty much, majority of the conference is going to play each other very tough. And it's going to be hard for teams to kind of separate themselves from the pack. Unless you're Arizona, and then no. But it's going to be same thing. It's going to be feisty for 3 quarters, but Oregon's going to find a way to break it out in the 4th and come out with a victory. Well, those are the 12 games to kind of look at, and I'm going to give 2 extra ones this week, so another 14-pick week. And I kind of look at the 2 remaining undefeated programs I already previously mentioned. So tonight, number 12 Cincinnati is going to Tampa to take on the UCF Bulls. Right now, Cincinnati's favored by 23. When has Cincinnati covered a spread? They don't blow out people; they just win, and I think that's part of the problem. They don't have, style points. They don't run up the score. No, they just win. That's all they have to do. Just win, baby. That's what you gotta do. Just keep on winning, keep on trucking, and do what you gotta do. But it's gonna be a snore. It's not gonna be it's gonna be one side of the fair tonight. Yeah, that's right. They play Friday night lights, and Cincinnati's gonna beat the Bulls, but I don't think it's gonna be by 23. It'll probably be like 21 at the most. And the other one is the other undefeated program, number 14, UTSA, will be playing host to Southern Miss, and this is going to be a bloodbath. UTSA is just phenomenal. Just one of these just having a stellar year, led by their local recruit, Sincere McCormick, who already has 1,000 yards on the ground. I don't see any issues of this team offense not performing unless everyone gets injured. UTSA should roll. Right now they're favored by 33 by the time this video. I think it's going to be close. It probably could be close to that 33 mark. I think they might win by 30 though, but it's not going to be pretty for Southern Miss whatsoever. And UTSA is going to roll and get to 10. That's right, 10 wins. I mean, that's spectacular for them. Well, those are my picks. So let's see if I can match what I did a couple weeks ago when I had 14 picks and go like that 10-4. Definitely got to see if I can get better at 7-5. Who knows? I mean, this is right now, and schools get you get these great games coming up, especially these key conference matchups like Michigan taking on Penn State, Purdue and Ohio State. Who saw that one being a key conference matchup? Oklahoma and Baylor. I mean, these are going to be some key matchups as the season gets tighter and tighter and tighter. I mean, there's not many weeks left to determine who's going to be in there. There's only a couple more games left of the season, so races and battles will get closer and closer and closer, and it's going to be a battle between, say, who's going to win and whatnot. So we're just weeks away from those conference championship games and the final appearance of that college football playoff to see who's the top 4. I'm sure it's going to be different than mine. Always is, but hey. That's what it is. Well, those are my picks. Let me know what you think. I got completely wrong. I mean, I think a couple of one I kind of went on the edge. I mean, taking Baylor over Oklahoma or Penn State over Michigan. I mean, I'm trying to pick some upsets here and see if that helps me out at all. Well, let me know what games you're looking forward to. Which teams have so far been a biggest surprise for you? Maybe this biggest disappointment. Who is your top 4? Let me know in the comments below. While you're there, go ahead and smash that thumbs up for me. Give me a like. You can also subscribe. Once you subscribe, you hit that bell notification. Let you know next time I post a video. And I'll get this recap video out for you on Monday. And I'll see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.